Welcome to Puzzled and Chatty Canadian edition with me, Adam Gray, where I talk with people in the jigsaw and speed puzzling world and hear their stories and thoughts on this growing competitive activity and the puzzle community. In this episode, I sit down with two people you won't see at a puzzle table very often, but are always there to support. Representing the unsung heroes of the puzzle community, they are the Jignificant Others, Doug Burney and Mark Sanders. We'll talk about what it's like supporting from the sidelines, living with rooms taken up by puzzles, being a substitute puzzle partner, traveling around the world for puzzle competitions, and more. So pull up a chair and pick a puzzle off the shelf to do while you listen to three people who are puzzled and chatty. Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Puzzled and Chatty Canada. This is the first episode of 2026 as well, so Happy New Year to everyone. Starting off this year a little bit differently, you'll notice there's multiple faces for the first time on one of these. First time with two guests, we'll see how that goes. But most importantly, in the introduction to every episode, if you've watched the previous episodes, I do say that I talk with people in the jigsaw and speed puzzling world. This does not necessarily mean people that only do the puzzling. There's so many other people involved that make it a puzzle community. So today my two guests represent, let's say, the part of the unsung hero groups, I think, and you'll find out why as we go through this. And they are the partners of puzzlers, or jignificant others, or puzzbins, or whatever other name has been given to them as they follow their puzzling partners around the world, really. So first we have Mark Sanders, who is the Jignificant Other, to my episode 6 guest, Danielle Engelson. Welcome, Mark. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys as well. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And we also have Doug Burney, the Jignificant Other, and soon to be officially reclassified as husband, for my first ever guest on this channel, Devin Donaldson from episode 1. Welcome, Doug.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm happy to have both of you joining me today. I honestly don't know which paths these conversations are going to go down. Puzzlers, with the speed puzzlers, we're very much more rigid. We know exactly what's going to happen. This could be chaos. I'm not going to try to cause any potential future off-screen arguments, discussions maybe, once this is released. So abstaining from questions is absolutely completely fine in this case. I will be seeing Danielle and Devin at some point this year at various competitions, so hopefully they're still okay with that when this is released. So, first of all, I'm going to just move back and forth between two as I get used to this setup. First of all, Doug, does Devin know that you're recording this?
She does not. She does not. So it'll be a great surprise, and I hopefully don't embarrass her or you or more.
So then that she's not listening in on this either. Then I guess. What about you, Mark?
I do have to admit, since this is my first time setting anything up like this, I did have to ask for Danielle's advice on what to do and how to get things set up and yada, yada, yada. But she is in another room. I told her, please don't eavesdrop on this. It's just going to make me nervous.
This isn't
So,
fair. This isn't
did
fair because now I'm going to be in trouble. Great. Thank you.
well, I guess the secret's out of the bag now, Doug.
So
Yeah, I'm the same, Mark. I don't like I'll release the videos, and then once the videos are out, I disassociate it from myself. But if someone was listening to me do this right now, that would be my absolute. It's a nightmare for me. It's just people listening in. It's not enjoyable to me. So, it's tough doing background information with non-puzzlers, but I'm still going to ask the same question I ask every guest. Mark, did you do any puzzles as a child?
Of course I did. Yeah, it was usually with my grandmother. So on my dad's side of the family, she was really the only one that would have a puzzle on the go. So whether you showed up to the house, she had a puzzle halfway put together, and it was just more or less just something to everyone gets to the table and just starts kind of making small talk and putting the puzzle together. Really, it's something to do before dinner time or something to do before we went to the animal farm together. But other than that, my older sisters weren't really big into puzzles, so I can't really say around the house we had many puzzles, but we did have a few, collectors, I guess, some certain Disney ones that, we never really wanted to get rid of, or the favorite Christmas one you put together, but no, it wasn't necessarily like a genuine hardcore puzzling upbringing like some have been known to be. So
Yeah.
very, sporadic around my upbringing.
And what about you, Doug?
I have a completely different path. We did not have puzzles in the house. And my claim to fame, I don't think I had a puzzle in the house until I met Devin. And so my claim to fame is that 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever the first year we went to Worlds together, I had never completed a puzzle by myself and went to the world puzzling competition. And so that's my claim to fame. I think I was probably the only person there that had never completed a puzzle and was competing at the world. So I'm hanging on to that one. I've done a puzzle since and I enjoy them much more, but it wasn't something that I was brought up on.
Yeah, and yeah, your world stories, how you got into worlds is interesting. That's definitely gonna come up as we go through this. But was anyone in so was it just you that wasn't doing puzzles, or was it just not a puzzle family?
Wasn't really a puzzle family. It makes me sound boring, I think, but we weren't board game people or anything like that. We were always into more physical things ever since I was really young. It was building cars with my dad and out in the garage and doing that sort of thing. So it was more physicality and those types of things. And it was into video games like any young boy was as well. So, Nintendo was where I was at more than puzzles.
So just to be
I
clear,
have to agree.
you don't consider speed puzzling a physical activity?
I do now. I didn't then, but I do now. Yeah, both the puzzling and the Sherpaing. So, but both things are physical. Yeah.
Yeah, the chirping, yeah, for sure. So while you both fall into the broad category of Jignificant Others, you're still both your own people. So we'll start off with you, Mark. Can you just tell us about yourself as you are now, separate from being forced into the world of speed puzzling?
Forced into the world. Yeah, I like how you put that there. Yeah, sure. Danielle and I have been together for close to 20 years, and for a solid 15 years or so, I was building scaffolding in the local carpenters union. So, in a way, I was putting together some big boy puzzles, I suppose you could say, in the chemical refineries around here. Um, we like to do outdoorsy stuff together. So, before Danielle was really into puzzles, like circa COVID era, we would go biking, kayaking, hiking. We played on volleyball teams together. So a lot of the things that I did were outdoorsy types of events. And Danielle and I, since we've been together, we just kind of kept that tradition going. Um, Always trying to get out and do something, whether we're going for a walk after we eat breakfast or lunch. Just keeping up with things like that. I wouldn't say like, oh, sorry, let me just get back to talking about myself. Just because we are doing the introduction before I go on a tangent here. So, carpenter for 15 years or so, and very interested in the world of coffee. So, as a hobbyist, getting more and more into coffee, trying to get myself a foot in the door somewhere. So, just recently, I've been roasting for a new business that's opened up locally. And my sister gave me an opportunity a couple of years ago to come help out in the chocolate shop that she owns. It's called Guild Chocolates, and I hung up my scaffolding my tool pouch, and my hard hat, and my harness, and thought, you know what? I'm done with that union work. Got it made here inside of a nice warm kitchen, I guess you could say. But with anything, it comes growing pains, and you're close to family for a long time. It's like you want to be independent and just find things that you're passionate about. And that's what I find is so interesting about the puzzle community. Like people are just so passionate about their hobby and every time they're putting something together, they're just so invested in that hour and a half or 2 hours of putting those colored pieces of cardboard together. I just find it very fascinating. So yeah, eventually, Danielle, she was the local breweries were hosting a lot of puzzle competitions, and they were on Saturdays and Saturdays when I was busy working. So finally there was a Saturday that I had open, and I thought, well, why don't I tag along for one of these little puzzle competitions? And that's kind of when I found out about speed puzzling. It was a whole different other world that I didn't know that Danielle was heavily involved in. She's coming back from these events and bragging about winning and being first again. And it's like, well, like, what is going on at these places? Like, I'd like to see what's this all about? You know? And so fast forward, here we are
Yeah, and now
doing a Zoom
everything's
meeting talking about puzzling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're on a puzzle cast YouTube video talking about puzzling. Yeah, I've had the chocolates from the chocolate shop, and they are very, very good.
Thanks.
Highly recommend. And if you want, is there any links or anything that you want to share that I can?
Sure, yeah,
do
I'd
some
like to throw up
advertising.
just, yep, the name of the place is Guild Chocolates, so www.guildchocolates.com, and we're temporarily closed just for this, New Year's season, because once Christmas hits, people kind of look at their waistline or their credit card balance and think, yeah, I gotta make a cut, one of these, one or the other. So, but Valentine's is going to be around the corner soon, and we'll ramp right back up for Valentine's production. So
Excellent.
fun, fun, fun.
And and yourself, Doug, tell us a bit about you.
Well, I have a degree in biochemistry and then immediately went into aviation throwing bags on the ramp. So my parents were super happy with me doing that. And so I've been in aviation, both operations and IT for 26 years. I work at Air Canada today. And I have lived all over the world, spent 4 or 5 years in the Middle East and worked in London, opening the Queen's Terminal over there as well. So have had an extensive career in aviation. Outside of aviation, I restore and build cars with my dad still. We do that often enough. I play music. You can see guitar in the background over here, unless you cut it out, and so that may end up being on the editing floor. But yeah, those are the things that keep me busy: music and cars and work.
Excellent. Yeah, just yeah, that's doing cars. That's puzzles as well. Just much bigger puzzles. Same with you, Mark. Everyone's doing puzzles, just in a different type of way. Yeah, it's. I also think you said the Middle East. I'm pretty sure that we discussed it. We overlapped a bit in the Middle East in Dubai for a few years in there, but obviously had no idea way back way back then. Um, yeah, it's weird how that works.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to figure out the best way to go about doing this. It's maybe I'll start with Doug. So, when did you find out that you were now involved with someone who has an obsession? Sorry, an intense hobby, we'll call it.
Obsession. It was so we've been together 6 years. Hopefully it's six when she watches this. Maybe that I'll get corrected. But we met just before COVID started, 2019, and she was doing puzzles but wasn't competitive with them. The world competition of 2020 was the first time. Was it 2020? It might have been 21. I can't remember. Was the first one in person that she had went to. That was the first real competition. So the first few years had been doing puzzles at home and enjoying them, and wasn't obsessive about it yet, but what was in it, and then found out that she was fast. And someone mentioned, oh, there's a competition that you can go and do, and that first Worlds kicked it off for her. And now that I think about it, it wasn't 2020, it was probably 23 by the time she went to Worlds. We were locked in the house for a couple of years with COVID, so yeah, that was the first time. And leading up to that Worlds is where the onslaught of puzzles came into our house, and she was doing thousands of pieces a day, getting ready to go, and that's when the obsession started. That's when the racks showed up at the house, and every Ravensburger showed up at the house that is possibly ever made. So yeah, that's when it started and just continues.
Yeah, I think COVID launched a lot of puzzlers because there was only so many things to do during the various lockdowns and stuff, and that's something easy. You can get that delivered, and away you go. What about you, Mark? Similar type of timing?
Yeah, it was definitely during COVID. I want to say at that time she was more or less trading puzzles with people, like going through the collection, seeing that, oh, I've done this one before, let's trade with a friend. Oh, I've got these new six puzzles to chip away at. Oh, I'm moving on to these two puzzles now, and then you just start overhearing like preferences, like, oh, I really hate the landscape in this puzzle. You're kind of out to lunch, not really paying attention what she's doing. She's putting a puzzle together, and you just overhear preferences like, oh, I really don't like this one, or I don't like the gradient in this. These are just words I'm not familiar with hearing.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't until I joined one of the brewery puzzle nights, and the puzzle was dumped onto the table, and just orders were being given to people. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And it was like, oh my goodness. Like, she preferred to do it upside down because it was easier for her at the time. And here I am trying to put like colors together and sorting things, and she smacks my hand out of the way. Give me this. I need this piece. Where does this corner piece? Put all the corner pieces over here. And that's, I think, what it sunk in. It's like she's passionate about this. She's really invested in being as good as she possibly can. And it was just that competitive edge that I saw in volleyball, I guess, but it's like this was really something that like drove her. It made her want to be better. And so just driving home from these competitions, how do you think we could have done better in this? Like, how do you think it could have done? We got first. Like, shave off a couple seconds, maybe.
Yep.
So
There's always
I just kind of felt it. It's like, you know what? I think we're onto something here. Let's go to the next one.
So I'm probably somewhat set. Like around COVID is when I started getting back into this type of competitive type. Well, getting into for the first time competitive speed puzzling, and I had very minimal number of puzzles. Like I had been, again, similar to Doug, living overseas for a good chunk of time. You're not carrying puzzles when you're moving vast
Oh,
distances. Well, most of us. We'll get to that in a second. But um, yeah, I started getting more and more puzzles, and since maybe 2003 until we're now started 2026, but I went from maybe one or two in my collection to maybe three to 400 in total is my collection right now. How much of your house is currently taking up by puzzles, Mark?
it's a good question. It's an ongoing battle. As you can see, I have quite the grow up going on in the living room, and these guys had to get moved to make way for more puzzle shelves. Apparently, they need more sunlight than these guys do, but that's up for debate. So we have an entire, probably like 16 feet by 8 feet. The shelves just like behind you, Adam, but just fills up the entire wall, and just jam-packed with puzzles, and they're
yep.
organized a certain way, and then 24 hours later, they're organized a totally different way.
Now I know Devon has quite the puzzle collection that she has formed over the last few years. The two of you have recently relocated for the most part, very recently, and it's not as though you moved a couple hours down the road. You've moved about a 32, 34 hour drive away from where you currently are to the opposite side of Canada. So Canada's pretty big.
It is.
What what
What were the logistics of how much time had to go into planning the puzzle move?
because I feel
Good question, Adam.
because
Quite
and
a
how
bit.
like what's the logistics behind doing all of that?
So we sort of have a foot in both cities still. So we still have an apartment in Toronto, downtown Toronto. It's 600 square feet, two small bedrooms. I guess you can call them bedrooms, but it's probably more of like a bigger closet than a bedroom.
With a
That
great view.
it is a great view. There's a tiny desk in the middle and puzzles surround it. So there's probably still 250 puzzles there, and it's on industrial racking on wheels. So there's this great racking that goes together in like 15 minutes from Amazon. It was great, and so we put that together and just started filling them up. So those are still there. The ones here, there's probably 10 of those racks here in Alberta as well. And so moving puzzles takes, first off, they're heavy. For anyone that puts 10 or 12 puzzles together, they're heavy. You know that, Adam. I didn't really realize that. And then 200 puzzles don't fit in moving boxes very well. So it took 40 moving boxes to get puzzles from one place to another, and you got to pack them up well so the corners don't get damaged, and to treat them really well. It was a thing. It was a thing. So I was sore for a couple of days after moving them. The logistics of moving them is way more moving boxes than you think it's going to be, and way more care. In God, they're heavy. So, so yeah, the collection is probably 600 or something like that now, and like Mark and Danielle, organized by brand, P shape, type, gradient, cartoon, not. So it's a library. I enjoyed it. I'm making it sound like it's a hardship. It really isn't. I mean, I move car parts, so that's just as bad or worse in terms of heaviness and being expensive and all of that sort of stuff. So I can't complain. I support that hobby 100%, and it's interesting to see the library that's been created. And thank God those things are on wheels, so we can move them around now.
Yeah, that's you just you're right. And it's hard to really explain to people how heavy puzzles do get once you start stacking them up. Like coming back from Worlds this year, it's the first international competition I've done and having to bring puzzles back. And I brought very little in terms of like clothing and such because most of my days are all the puzzlers' days are spent inside of a dome doing puzzles. So as I'll just use as much space as I can for more puzzles to bring back. And I was over the weight limit in that suitcase, and I did not think I would be. They were generous, they were nice, they didn't charge me for it, but it adds up fast. It's like one sheet of
That's
paper is very light, but a box of paper is not very light. It's it adds up
this is true.
quite quickly.
This is the other side of the coin for us puzzlers, Adam, is that you spend all day inside puzzling, practicing, getting ready in the zone. We are out buying the puzzles and getting them set up and knowing how many are stacking up in the room. And I have more suitcases now than I ever have before, because every time we go to an event, wherever it is, we think, okay, well, how many puzzles are we going to get there? And then there's a vendor and or there's puzzle giveaways. And that first Worlds, we went with one suitcase thinking, oh, we'll fill half a suitcase on the way home. I think we came home with 28 puzzles, and I had to buy two suitcases. And now I think we have 10 suitcases that kind of just go between places here where puzzles just fill up. So I'm a little bit off topic here, but it's that's what we do. It's a lot of puzzles that you gather at these events.
That's so true.
Um,
Like I don't want to cut you guys off or anything, but when we were like thinking logistics this year, it's like, oh, we got to get bigger luggage. It's like we got to get bigger luggage. It's like last year we made it. All right, we came home with 12 puzzles or so. No, 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 we need more. We need bigger luggage to get more puzzles home. Oh
There's
boy,
always
here
one
we
more.
go.
Yeah.
There's always room
so
for one more.
Yeah, there is always room for one more. So that actually brings in, I guess that's a good transition into like the first main topic, and it's the most time consuming aspect of being a jignificant other is the traveling that you partake in if you are going along with all these trips. And I know both of you do a fair. You're at a lot of not all the competitions, but a lot of the competitions. So there's traveling involved. When you do the, we'll stick with the international for a second. When you do the international, how many are you bringing suitcases that are empty under your allowance, and you're told to kind of keep your stuff down to as little as possible? Is that the case?
For
Ye-
sure.
Yep,
100%.
yep, that's exactly how it goes. And me being me, I'm thinking, ooh, I wonder how many nice bags of coffee I'm going to come across, or how many fancy chocolate bars, or something I can get for Christmas and bring home for people. And I'm collecting and adding things together. And Danielle's looking at my stash, thinking, I don't know how he's getting those home because I got to get my puzzles home. Like, do you need that bag of coffee, Mark? It's like, Danielle, do you need that other puzzle?
If you see any pictures of Mark or myself or Luke or anyone else, we're usually wearing the same shirt because we are allowed a certain amount of things to take for the few weeks. And you'll notice all the actual puzzlers, they brought all their team shirts and some practice puzzles and have to bring some stuff home. So usually we're down to a couple of pairs of jeans and a couple of shirts and
Bare
a shaving
minimum.
kit,
Yep.
and the rest is for any puzzle you can jam in a bag to get it home.
Yeah, and it's especially with Worlds this past year with the biggest heat wave they've had in a generation or something like that, where you've planned because both of you had been to Worlds before. This wasn't your first time in Spain, but this was the first time that it was hotter. We all know it was significantly hotter this time. But you can't plan for that. So did that because of your luggage restrictions, not the airline's restrictions, but your restrictions. Uh, did that play a factor at all? Like in what, like,
How did you
Yes.
adjust?
Truthfully, I wished I brought a little bit more clothes because you start seeing the same people and they see you profusely sweating in the same clothes that you were wearing the day before. And you wonder what they're wondering, but then deep down inside they're thinking, good for him. He's getting another puzzle to bring home. It's all worth it in the end. But yeah, it was tricky because all you're thinking, well, it was very hot in the dome, so I would try and avoid going inside for too long as so as not to sweat too much. But you're thinking about that. You're like, well, do I need to bring sandals to Spain? No, probably not. I could just get away with running shoes. Do I need dress shoes in case we go out somewhere for a nice restaurant? Because Doug likes to eat at nice restaurants. So, I've learned from the year before, it's like I better bring something nice to wear. And then now it's like, you know what? I think I can get away with just wearing t-shirt, shorts, and Spain will feed me no matter what restaurant I go into. I think we can.
There was an upside, Adam, to the heat wave that we knew it was going to be hot, so I didn't bring sweaters or jackets or things like that. So that created some puzzle room in the luggage. So that was an upside. And it
True.
was deadly hot in the dome. But as the husbands, we have the liberty to stand outside, and they put the monitor up outside, which is nice that you can get in the shade and watch what's happening without being in the dome. So it was okay. I've learned the amount of clothes that I take. I usually take too many, and I get home and I think I brought 7 shirts that I didn't wear because we thought we were going to go out for dinner or we were going to do something. And you know what really happens, especially as the community grows and Devin gets to know more and more people there, is that when it was just us, we would get out of the dome and we would go for dinner because we didn't know anybody. And so there was more clothing and things that were needed for that, or more to-do items. When this past year, I barely saw her. You'd get out of the dome after, a couple hours of puzzling, and everyone would get together and say, "Hey, do you want to go on the grass and do 10 more puzzles?" And so, okay, awesome. So we didn't do more dinners, and I didn't need more clothing, and so it worked out okay.
yeah, and it's also a couple of things with the heat as well that we had this year. it also tires you out a lot faster. So at the end of the day, it's I really don't want to go for dinner at 10 p.m. and do that. It's like just let's just get something easy and quick and go lie down. And it's just we need to rest for the next day because well Danielle, Devin, myself included, we're not there just to do the qualification rounds and that's it type of thing. It's we have our semifinals and we have the finals. So it's a long it's a long week if we're not doing that. But it's also with the heat. One of the things I liked about living in Dubai was everyone knows it's hot and everyone knows you're going to sweat. So if everyone's sweating, no one cares type of thing. So it's you don't need to feel embarrassed if you have like stuff under your arms or it's like we know as long as it's not as long as you don't really smell, then you're okay. But yeah, sweating through those shirts, whatever. We're all doing it, so it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, made it feel like a sporting event. You know what I mean?
It is a sport, Mark. It is a sport.
That's right.
It didn't feel like one.
Correction.
It's are there are there any times this is where we might get questions that you don't want to answer. Are there times that you've at least locally in Canada where you've just been like, I'm not going to this competition. This is you let me know how it is. Not necessarily for like the small like brewery things that Devin takes part in, or sorry, Danielle takes part in, or the I think goblets and such for Devin in Toronto, like those small ones that happen all the time. No, but like maybe bigger competitions that where you're just like, "Ah, I can't be bothered this time."
I'll start. It's not about not being bothered. I actually enjoy going. I've met people at competitions that are Jignificant Others that I found as sitting on the side. Some lady was wearing Mopar earrings, and I'm like, "Are you into cars?" She says, "Yeah, I own a car club," and so I've found friends there. So I enjoy going. There are some that I don't go to for a couple of different reasons. Either I'm working or traveling or something of the sort. And there are ones that I don't necessarily need to be the hanger on. It's something for her to go and be with her friends and enjoy and not feel the pressure of me on the side. I'm sitting at the bar drinking a beer, waiting for them to finish. Just go and have some fun and enjoy it for as long as you want to enjoy it. And so if she wants me to go and support and I can, I absolutely will every time. If it's something that she wants to do by herself or it's a smaller one or it's the group of friends, the CSP girls that are going, great, go and do it and have the best time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I have pretty much the exact same opinion with that, Doug. I'm the same. Most of the competitions seem to fall on Saturdays anyway, so I'm usually busy or working. But days that I am open, I love tagging along and seeing what the town or the city has to offer in the meantime. Like, if we're going to travel a couple hours for a puzzle competition, then let's see what kind of cafes and bakeries or hiking trails or scenic walking spots we can do while we're there. And you're right. A lot of the people on the sidelines are curious. Either they're watching or they want to see what is the commotion going on inside this room. What are they doing? And then just making small talk with people. It's interesting how curious people are to see like an actual speed competition. So it's fun just making small talk with people and just getting to know other significant others.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's like I noticed in Spain this year because, like I said, it's you've both been there a few times before. There was some rounds, and I know the dome heat would have played a factor in it, but there was some rounds where we'd see the puzzle get released, and then both of you, one of you, you're out. We're gone. We'll try to be back for when it finishes. We'll try to time it so it matches up. How long did it take for you to get to that stage where it was like, I don't really need to hang around for 2 hours for some of these things. I'll look to see what it is, do my thumbs up, and then once they're not focused, I'm out.
You go first, Mark.
All right. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Pretty much instantaneously. I think it was just because I didn't have a good view. Everyone's backs were kind of towards me, and you're looking at people kind of hunched over, half bent over. You're just like, I can't see anything. So how long is this going to take? Less than 2 hours? I'll be back in 2 hours, and see what what I can get into for that short amount of time. But it's not like I need you to stand here and wait for me and hold my backpack and, watch my purse. I'll throw out the backpack and go for a hike and I'll be back. It wasn't ever really pressure to make sure that I'm there to see it all the way through, but I do get the play by play no matter what. If I'm standing there watching it or if I don't watch it at all, I'm still getting that play by play. So, no,
Apparently Mark's smarter than I am if he got it instantaneously. That first Worlds, I stood inside the dome for the whole time, from the setup, the beginning, getting started, seeing what's happening, trying to crane my neck to get a good view. I stayed in, but it was a little bit different that I didn't know anybody either, and she didn't know anybody, so it was just a little bit of support, I thought. But there are videos, I'm sure, out there, are pictures that I'm standing nearish by, and I get nervous for her and anxious because I can't control it. So I think a little bit of standing on the outside of it is harder than actually doing it. And I don't want to minimize that, Adam, but like I have zero control sitting on the outside. So as you can see things happening, I get nervous and I move around, and there's videos of me standing near her. And there was a point where she said to me, You can be nearby, just not in my view. You make me nervous." So that first year I was nearby. Now I get set up, get her going, and then you know that it's going to be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, depending on the size of the puzzle. And you almost get a better view and a sense of what's going on outside, where you can see other things, the video wall, if it's in Vitalid or something like that. Because in the dome, it's like being in a, I liken it to being in a bar when you were young and it was crowded on New Year's and there's nowhere to get a drink, you can't even raise your arm. It's like that in there, and it's not productive. You can't see anything. So head on out. So it took me a while to learn it. That's a long-winded way to say it took me a while to learn it, but I'm there in the beginning, I'm there in the end. Hold all the stuff if you need to in between, and that seems to work the best.
Yeah, it's you're kind of like describing what I guess I can't speak from personal experience, but like if you have a kid that's in a sporting event or something, like playing hockey or gymnastics or something, you're there to support, but you're really nervous for them, but there's nothing you can do at that point. I think what also plays into the factor is for both Devin and Danielle, they're like Devin's won a national championship in Canada. She's been the top Canadian finisher at Worlds in 2023 and 2024. Still really high in 2025. Danielle, also very much on the rise and still one of the top Canadian speed puzzlers. Was on the top Canadian team at Worlds this year. Won Nationals teams in 2025. So there's something on the line, I think, when you're watching. It's not as though they're there just to kind of not casually, but as long as they have a good time type of situation. They're pushing to go through. So I think there might be that added bit of pressure that other Jignificant Others might not need to deal with quite as much.
It's true. It's something that I think about when we go to those larger competitions, that they're immersed in what's going on and they want to do their best. It's not just for fun, although they want it to be fun. It's not just for fun. So in the meantime, I'm out thinking, this sounds like I'm too much of a planner, and you all will laugh at this, I'm sure. I'm thinking about, okay, she's going to get out of there 2 hours until the next competition or whatever it is. What are we going to eat? I better go set something up to get something so she has some nutrition to get going. It's really hot in the dome. There's got to be a couple of Gatorades or something that we can get to get going. So all that sort of prep that goes with it. And then there's a balance of being the hype man and the coach and the partner, the supportive partner. I don't know as much about puzzling as I'll never know as much about puzzling as Devin does. But there are things that you notice that, hey, you spent a lot of time in this area of the puzzle and, did fail fast or whatever it is. And you feel like a bit of a shmoo giving advice to people that are hyper competitive in it. But you might notice something from the outside, and the more that we're around it, the more we notice it, and we hear other Jignificant Others talking about stats and puzzling, and we've done this before, and the Americans have done it in 56 minutes and start on this side of it. So you end up being a little bit of a coach, a little bit of a nutritionist, a little bit of a hydration specialist, a little bit of everything, and that's what we spend our time doing to help them be competitive, but also just to remind them that it is fun too. Like you're not going to get rich being a puzzler. The number one puzzler in the world is not making their money back to fly to Valladolid. So, have fun while you're doing it.
Yep, yep, very true. Yeah, you're right, Doug. It's more or less like a training staff member where you have to have things on hand just in case. You got to make sure you got your electrolytes just in case. Do you have the charging cable for the phone just in case? Do you have this, that, and the other just in case? And that's kind of where you've made that term the Sherpa because you're always carrying extra things or the just in case bag. But yeah, it's like that. After the competition's over or after a certain event is over, they want to unwind or unload how they broke that puzzle down and where they think they went wrong. And you're really just listening. And then you could say, well, do you think you rushed during this one section, or do you think you should have spent a little less time in that specific area of the puzzle? Or you struggle with that. Why did you start with there first? Oh yeah, you're right. You can have a little bit of a back and forth conversation. And so you're there to kind of keep things calm because people do get very it's the adrenaline rush, and once that rush is over, they've got to keep it going or they've got to unload on somebody and everyone else has put that same puzzle together. They're already in their own little world. So it's kind of nice to have I guess to be this significant other and just be eyes and ears for them to unload on. And you can kind of throw suggestions or I saw this or the person that got first, second, and third, this is how they approached the puzzle. Oh, they did? Oh, okay. So you can be, another set of eyes for them. How did they do the puzzle? How did they approach it? Well, this is what I saw. So, that helps with being in the dome or actually hanging out and watching the live stream on the TV. But yeah, it's just other things that we take away as well. Or you stood up and sat down a lot. You stood up and sat down a lot. You were rummaging around. You didn't seem like you were in the zone. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I need to work on that. Oh, just giving some feedback.
We need to be careful when we say they or them because Adam, you're one of them. You're in the dome of thinking,
Yeah.
so I should be careful about them.
No, I
I don't think I have the same type of external pressures, I guess, from it because like I don't have the significant other following me around and um, or helping out or providing advice for that. So all my pressure is fully internal. That's and you probably would have seen it in Spain very much so. Like I'm tough on myself when it comes to it, and it's
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But there's not the. But you're both of you are also great for not just like helping Devin and Danielle, but you're helping to supply essentially the bulk of Team Canada at some points. Like I would turn around and one of you would have an electrolyte drink for me. I was like, oh, I like this. This is nice. Just
We're here for you,
yeah,
buddy.
something that, like I don't need to really because you mentioned it's Doug. You mentioned like having food places ready to plan or. I know you picked up some sandwiches and stuff on certain days, Mark, and it was just those things for when it was done. I can only imagine like the weight, that little bit of weight off the shoulders afterwards. Where yeah, it was hot. It's physical to whatever extent you want to call puzzling physical, but also it's so mentally draining that afterwards you don't want to have to think about anything else. You just be like, just push me in a direction, and that's where I'm that's where I'm gonna go at this point. So there's these aspects that the Jignificant Others bring, these benefits. But you mentioned the training. I do want to stay with not the training, the feedback that you give, and I want to stay there for a second. Are either of you involved in like the lead up or like giving advice during the training? Not for all the competitions, but like as we approach nationals in May or worlds again in September, is there advice going on like on a day-to-day type of basis?
No, not I don't want to say not anymore, but I feel as though like I don't have anything remotely intelligent to provide anymore. Unless it's like a small little, how come you always get stuck on that side, and you're right-handed and the lighting's bad. Why don't you get around switch sides on the table? Other than that, not really. I want to say she's more or less coming to her own and relies more on what her puzzle partners are suggesting. Um,
They get
yeah, I'd
together.
say.
They get together often enough, right? Like Danielle and Devin get together, and they do weekends with their teammates, and they do 30,000 or 40,000 pieces in a weekend, and they get lots of feedback there. I do find, to your question, Adam, that I have an eye for an attention to detail. So there are times when she'll be doing a puzzle and she goes through months of feeling like I'm doing really well and then plateauing and then doing well and plateauing. And when she plateaus, she'll ask sometimes, can you just be around and see if there's something you notice that I'm doing that I could do a little faster. And so there are times, even though I don't have the expertise, I can say it seemed like you touched pieces a lot. It wasn't a pick it up and put it in. It was you touched a bunch of times, or I think you can flip them a little bit faster, just move the hands just a little bit faster. And leading up to competitions, there are days like that it's not often, but she'll ask, can you just watch and see if there's something that I may have a blind spot to? And sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, but I get to watch another puzzle and learn something from it. So
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
I've heard somewhat similar stuff. There's a an Australian team, the Aussie All Stars, their top team, and they spoke about that where their partner, Jignificant Others, would like watch the videos of puzzling, and they said just watch through the time lapse or watch through this, and they'll go through and the similar situation to the both of you. You're not speed puzzlers, but yeah, that second pair of eyes and that outsider perspective, you might notice something that we might be blind to. So I think it's as speed puzzling in general increases and more people are doing it, there's more and more partners that are being put into these positions where you have to watch these puzzles and give some information back on it. But what also comes along with this is the the in my opinion the funniest part of the Jignificant Other stories is the forced competitions in which you play a role at the table. Like you are now puzzling, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that neither of you are doing quite as many puzzles on a day-to-day basis as Danielle and Devin are. So I know it's a wild take, but I'm pretty confident with it. So I know this has happened to both of you. You've both been put into pairs competitions with your Jignificant Others, your speed puzzlers. We'll start with Doug on this one, because you've been in quite a few competitions with Devin. You've done 7 Canadian Jigsaw Puzzle Association events, whether it's virtual or at nationals. And you've also competed at Worlds as well, as you mentioned near the start of this. When it comes to official competitions, so Doug, like we mentioned, Devin has won a national championship, done very well overall. What is it like sitting down across the table with someone who is just that incredibly fast? Is there like an intimidation aspect with it, or is it just, look, we're here, we know it's going to be more fun because we know who's on the other side of the table, whether it's, we know there's Devin and then we know there's Doug.
She's incredibly good at making you feel comfortable at the table and not like an idiot, and but also going fast. So my goal when we sit down is to do a puzzle and hopefully make it quicker than if she was doing it by herself. So that's my goal. And she's really, really good at not being bossy, but soon as the box opens, okay, I'm going to pull the edges, we're going to put them here. What's the project that you're going to put together? What do you see? Do you see the pink? Okay, get that together, put that there, we'll do a project. So what happens is we've got a little bit of a, I'm the puller of projects and getting them together, and she fires them into the puzzle. So we've got a little bit of a system. I hope I don't slow her down. Sometimes I do, I'm sure, but yeah, of course, it's intimidating, but not to the point where I feel intimidated. I just wish that I could help her out more. You know, it'd be fun to do that together, but her skill set is so much further ahead of where mine could ever be. And the time that I would need to invest to do it. And every time we get out of a competition, I think, God, everybody had so much fun and it's so cool. I wish that I was a little bit better. Okay, this year I'm going to get it done and get ready and get into a competition. And I said that last year. I'm off on a bit of a tangent, but I said that last year. And then I went and did a pairs with Duncan at Worlds, and we didn't finish, but it was a valiant effort. I wish I was better at it, and I should invest more time to be better for her at it. But she doesn't need me. She has her fast friends and teammates like Danielle that just they do it. So I'm not intimidated, but it's she's really good at getting down to business and making you feel included and that you're doing well.
Yeah, and yeah, Devin definitely comes across that way. But what was it like with when you did Worlds in 2023? So that was also Devin's first, I believe, it was her first in-person competition as well. I've heard she's been on here. I've heard her point of view from it, but from your point of view of what were you feeling or thinking as you sat down at a world championship to do a puzzle in Spain in 2023?
I felt like an imposter. I felt like there was a problem that I was sitting. Listen, it's just ridiculous, honestly, that someone at that point I'd never finished a puzzle on my own. And her and I had practiced. I'd maybe done 20 puzzles with her leading up to that as practice. And it was just for fun. She knew it, and I was trying to go fast, but I felt the pressure. I felt the pressure to do well for her. She didn't put that pressure on me, but I felt the pressure to do it. And I wanted to do well. I was at the world competition for puzzling. I don't want to be the only person sitting at a table still with pieces when it all comes to an end. So uh, I was nervous walking up to the dome that day. My heart rate was like 145. I just it was incredible. And you guys must feel that all the time as you're going in to do it. And I love it. But it was difficult. And then, in 25, when I did the puzzle with Duncan, the pressure was a little bit different because we were just having fun. We just wanted to get as much done and have fun. But when I'm with Devin, I want to do it the best that I can so that I don't embarrass her in front of her peers.
Yeah, and I'm just looking it up because I'm pretty sure you were in the same pairs round. You and Duncan this year were the same pairs round as myself and Tess. Where it was
That's true.
did you have it was the butterfly or Lupin option?
Lupin.
Yeah, so you were put in, which makes it funnier because that was by far the hardest of all the pairs rounds with the two puzzle choices. Neither one was good.
We were on we were on an edge table, Adam. Sorry to cut you off. We were on an edge table, and all of you were like all the puzzlers that weren't puzzling were standing right there. And okay, no problem. We'll help you choose one, the easier one for both of you. And we took both of them out, and everybody right next to us went, "Oh no." And we both looked over and they're like, "Oh." So we knew we were in trouble right from the start, and we just decided to have a good time.
There,
Yeah,
you
that
guys did
was
well. You guys did
yeah.
awesome.
We tried. We tried.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Given the puzzle choices, it was like that was a nightmare scenario for two people that are just there to just to do the puzzle. It was it was something else.
It
I'm
was
just look.
meant to weed out the bunch.
Well, they weeded us out. So there you go.
It's also worth noting that you did beat, let me just see here, 18 other teams. So pairs.
That was the win.
Yeah.
That was the win.
Yeah, and more than half the puzzle done.
Yeah. Yep. So listen, we had fun. I'm proud of it. Duncan has reached out and asked, do we want to do it again this year? And back to our previous conversation, I want to be able to practice. If we're going to do that, I want to be able to finish the puzzle. No matter how hard it is, I want to be able to finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that near the end because when we close off there, I have some specific questions. But with you, Mark, you've also been put into a competition setting, not a world championship setting scenario with Danielle.
Oh no.
But it's still, you weren't expecting it, correct?
No, I guess, okay, what I'll admit to is it was the Fergus 2024 competition. And unbeknownst to me, puzzles come in circles. I had no idea. And, I'm driving to this competition with Danielle, and I'm thinking, sort. All I have to do is flip and sort. That was enough pressure to make me, lose my morning appetite and be nervous the whole entire drive there. I was like, I can't let her down. All I got to do is sort, fire her all the edge pieces for the border, give her some projects to work on. This will be fine. Fast forward to walking up to the arena, and Sandy was there with Doug, and Sandy motions Danielle over, like, I gotta tell you a secret. I think there's something I need to tell you. So there they are, whispering over there on the side, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting recruited to go on a four-person team, or, prolonging my day here at the arena doing more puzzles. So I'm not really thinking too much about it. And shortly, Danielle comes over with her eyes wide open. She's like, "It's a circle puzzle." I'm looking at her like, "What does that even mean?" Yeah, a circle puzzle. Oh my God. I've never put anything like this together in my life. And now I'm supposed to be your partner and do this? Like, and now I'm very nervous. And we have the table right by the door. It's like, I don't want anyone watching me struggle right now. My hands are shaking like I'm over caffeinated, too much sugar from those nice catered treats that they brought into the arena. I've had way too many already. And anyways, Danielle's trying to give me a strategy, like what I got to do. And I'm looking at this thing like it's in Chinese. I just can't figure out one end from the other. But yeah, lo and behold, every piece has a little arc to it. As the puzzle gets smaller and smaller, the pieces get tinier and tinier. So, once you're standing over top of the pieces and looking at it, it's starting to make sense to you. But my goodness, the whole time I just felt like I was kind of letting her down. I wasn't really holding up my end of the bargain. And I felt like we could have done better if I was better. There's no other way of saying it, but yeah,
See the
I just,
complex you give us, Adam? The puzzlers give us complexes. We just want to be better.
yeah, I lost sleep that night.
To be fair, because I was also at that competition, I didn't know who you and Danielle were yet, but so you were competing against
Yeah, true.
me in that competition, and I believe the two of you finished in fourth place.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought we got third, so I jumped up. I was like, "Time!"
yeah,
Oh, we didn't get.
And I'm pretty sure that it was me and my partner that were in third place.
Oh, good
we
for
weren't
you
beating.
guys.
We weren't beating. That was the first time that we had competed together as well. We'd only been like practicing for maybe a month or two at that point. But
Oh, okay.
Um,
and the winning pair, they had done that puzzle a couple months earlier at nationals because it was the same puzzle.
so
Okay.
they were gonna win
Go
regardless. But
figure, hey.
Yeah, it's what you went. Danielle was back at the Fergus competition again.
this year,
Yes. Yep.
um,
Yeah, lo
how
and behold, she's
relieved?
got a new partner.
Yeah,
Were you relieved when she said that I was her partner this year, or were you a bit disappointed and like, yeah,
maybe I want to do it again.
Um, kind of both. More or less because I knew the competition was coming up and I knew that we puzzled together last year and I just assumed that, hey, you want to come with me again this trip? We'll go to that cafe. We'll walk along the creek, we'll go out for something to eat afterwards. And it was I don't know if it was like how she broke it to me. It was like, that tournament in Fergus I go to every year? It's like, yes. What's going on now? It's like, well, I have a different partner. I was like, oh, you have a different partner. Oh, who is it? What's her name? Oh, it's not a her. I was like, oh, are you totally leaving me for you got another partner now? Like, what's going on here? So, but it's you, it's Adam. I was like, oh my God, I know what's going on now. I was like, I'm still tagging along for the ride. I'm still coming. It's like I'm not missing that sweet catered food at the hockey arena.
Yeah,
and yeah, really, as soon as they say it's not a her, that narrows it down significantly in the.
Oh, that's
puzzle
right.
community. You're down
Yeah.
to me, I guess, and
Yeah, like I
maybe
only know of Russell's another gentleman that puzzles. I can't think of too many other guys, so it's like I who is it?
Luckily for you though, because the puzzle I have right here, that's the puzzle. It was the Snoopy.
Peanuts
Yeah,
puzzle.
You lucked out.
right,
This one
right.
was harder than your circle one from the year before.
So
Oh, okay.
we're yeah.
Not significantly harder, but it's definitely tougher. Back
Okay.
to you for a second, Doug. You also paired with Devin at her first nationals as well, which was just something like 2 weeks or something after the first Worlds. Back when our nationals was in October that first year for some weird reason. But and again, I would encourage people to go and watch Devin's episode as well as Danielle's episode on here to get their side of all these stories. But you were dealing with flights and everything else in the middle of Devin winning nationals, but also you were doing like you were competing as a pair. What was that weekend, or that not even a weekend? It was a day that year. What was that day like?
It was a crazy day. So we competed as a pair and did what we did. I was still more of a newbie than I am today, and so we did okay. I think we did okay. She probably will say we did terrible, but that's okay. We had fun. And I had work. So in between that and her doing the finals individuals, she had to drive me to the airport go and I flew to Ireland for work. And you know, as I land, I try and figure out how did it go? What'd you do? Oh, I won. I wish I could have been there. And it was tough. So this is one of those times where I was dealing with work and couldn't be there to support. It was at a time she didn't really know that many people either. It was only a couple weeks after her first competition. So I felt the guilt of leaving her alone there to Sherpa her own stuff and be there. But she did well, and that was the beginning of making a bunch of Canadian friends. And I think that was an eye opener for both of us of how many people in Canada were into puzzling. And so that was the beginning of the network of where, she was meeting yourself and Danielle and the rest of the team that she's so close with now. So uh, yeah, it was a crazy weekend in and out and get right off the plane, right through customs, right in an Uber, right over to the arena in Georgetown. I'm still wearing my suit as I came in because I just got out of work, so it makes a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's especially because it was the first nationals as well. It just adds to it, I think. And I remember that year walking into that that community center and thinking, I don't know anyone here. I really don't care if I know anyone here. I'm just here to do a puzzle. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And Devin winning, that changes a lot, because I don't remember who got second that year, and I keep track of all the stats. But just that winning aspect, people suddenly definitely know who you are very, very quickly, and we'll get into it in just a couple minutes. But I think that like is a trajectory of a path that keeps you involved with the puzzling as much as well, and with whether it's traveling to all these different places, and we'll talk about the Canadian speed puzzlers in a second. But there's so much that comes from that. But then also connecting with people like Danielle, will know who she is, and forming those teams. And I think it helps that both Danielle and Devin are like social people as well, and friendly and willing to talk to people at these types of things. I was very much not, where even like 2023, I did my puzzle and I did my thing, said hello to my table mate, and I was out. 2024, same thing.
Absolutely same thing. Said hello to the person beside me.
Done. 2025, everything changes, where I joined some teams in the lead up to it, but yeah, you need to be able to have that like personality, I guess, to be able to do it. But it helps when you have a supporting team as well.
It must have existed, Adam, before, or maybe it didn't, before yourself got into it, and Devin and Danielle. When we went to the first Worlds in 23, I was in awe of the Aussies and the US teams. They had a big enough community that they were talking about, oh, we switched partners, a little bit this year, and switched off because there was a big enough community of really great puzzlers that they could do that, and they're just trying to find the right combination of people within that group. It felt like that first year, from an outsider's perspective, Canada didn't have that. They had a few puzzlers that were competitive and some that were just coming up, but you didn't have the ability, if you wanted to have a team and swap out two of the team members for the next competition. There weren't enough serious competitive puzzlers to do that. They must have existed, but from an outsider's perspective, I didn't really see that. Now it's completely different, right? There's 20 of you that are really good, and or more. I'm not cutting anybody off, but I mean that if a team doesn't click, you have the option to find the teammates that do click. So it's quite an interesting dynamic in just a couple of years.
Yeah, that first year there was I think there were only like 40 people, I think, in the individual round, and the top 20 made it to the finals, and now it's hundreds of people. But yeah, you're right. The US and the Australians, for sure, they are very good with their organizations. Canada's was relatively new. I think we had done like a few virtual competition. I didn't even know those existed at the time, but we had some virtual things. But that was pretty much it. But I think that leads in well into the next thing, where it has grown. Canada's puzzle community has grown. And it's not just because the Canadian Jigsaw Puzzle Association is doing more stuff, which they are. There's everyone else is doing stuff. Like I have this channel and I have Canadians and stuff show up, but both of you are with people that are running their own organization, the Canadian Speed Puzzlers. So from a Jignificant Other point of view, we'll start with Mark on this one.
Sure.
Danielle is part of it. One of the, I don't know if she was in the original people to start it up or very, very soon after. I know it was quite near the
Soon
beginning.
after, I think so. Yeah, she was contacted. Mm-hmm.
To help out with this and run different events. And how does that change? How has that changed things for you? Because there's so many things going on with this. Yeah, she has her puzzles to do, but also has events to run virtually and all these other things.
Yep. Yep, you're right. Our house is kind of an open concept house, and when Danielle has her computer set up, like the laptop set up for her, the competition or whatnot, I'll come home from work and I'll know right away if something's going on, if she's hosting something. Just the lighting is different in the house. And I'll silently sneak away to the garage and work on my woodworking projects or something like that until I get the okay. Or I have to make sure the cats are out of the room so they're not interrupting something or jumping up on something. But I'd want to say she's thinking more and trying to perfect her angle on hosting these things and thinking more community wise as opposed to how do I make myself, Danielle, a better speed puzzler. It's how do I host a better meeting? How do I cater to more people and how do I get a greater group of people to become a little bit more successful in their hobby or in their speed puzzling journey? So there is a little bit more back and forth that we chit chat about, a lot of hypothetical situations, but she is bouncing ideas off me at least, and it makes me feel like I'm wanted or I'm being listened to for some things. But it's usually like, did I sound okay saying this, or was my voice like usually subtle feedback, something like that.
Because you're
But it's more or less.
yeah, go.
Sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say it's more or less just the amount of time that she puts into it, and then even when those puzzle evenings are over, she's chit chatting with the girls until 10:30 at night, quarter to 11, and it's like, hey, I thought we were going to go for a walk at 9 o'clock. It's now 11 o'clock.
With
But I can't complain. It's time flies for her, so she's having fun. She's enjoying doing it, and she's looking forward to doing more of it. So I mean, kudos to her. She's happy with what she's doing.
because it's definitely is more and more is being added to the Canadian Speed Puzzlers group, which again, all that it will be in the description below for Canadian Speed Puzzlers. But because that's taking up more time, are you finding that you need to come up with things to do now to fill that time that maybe you would have spent more time together beforehand?
You're right about that, Adam. I'd say I don't want to say it takes time away that we would have spent together. It's like I do a lot of woodworking and crafts by myself. And so I don't want to say I've replaced that time with just working on more things in the garage, but Danielle's, she's with her friends and I'm with my tools and, I'm doing something I enjoy. She's doing something she enjoys. I don't want to say I'm ever waiting for her to be done. I have lots of stuff I can do to pass the time. So if there's anything, I have a lot of like individual hobbies that I do. So I kind of like the fact that Danielle has kind of taken this on and she can spend a little bit more time.
This
Have
is
you ever?
Just before you go into that, Doug, have either of you ever like leaned your head into the room and saying how much longer for that puzzle to be done?
Are you kidding?
I've never made that mistake.
No. First rule of Fight Club is no, you don't don't do that. It's something though that I've learned. So we talked about learning as we go along. The first one event was supposed to be an hour, and it was three, based on the prep, the doing the event, and then the debriefing afterwards. And so, as double header events happened like it'd be 6 hours or something that they'd be hosting and prepping and chatting. And I've learned that on those nights, it's dinner for one. That's what happens on those nights. And again, I love that she's doing it, and the difference on my side, Adam, is that. Uh, it's now twofold. The speed puzzling in competition for her drives a specific set of happiness to compete and be a great individual. The CSP drives a whole nother thing about building community and making other puzzlers the best that they can be. And she loves doing that sort of work. She loves hosting and presenting and getting that stuff together. I mean, she's a consultant by nature, so she's a great PowerPoint maker as well. But it's her being satisfied with both of those things in developing the community. It's almost the community portion of it that is more um, fulsome for her soul than the other. And doing it with her friends like Danielle is just great, and that makes my life better. So bringing it back to me, that it's just about her happiness is my happiness. So that's good. But it does take a lot of time. The prep that goes into that sort of work, the design thinking sessions, the prep, you think about it's just like an hour of a BYOP event or a boot camp or something. But for every hour on camera, there's dozens or hundreds of hours that go, and you know that, like prepping this sort of stuff, it's for an hour on speaking to us, you'll put hours and hours and hours into to making it good. Hopefully you can make it good. We haven't screwed it up, so.
No, this is going very well. This is great. Um, yeah, we're actually getting through most of the stuff here. I'm aware of the time and such like that, but there's just a couple things I want to touch on. Especially because I have well, I hope, I don't know if that's will definitely happen, but the speed puzzlers out there that have Jignificant Others or whatever, maybe passing this video along, going, "Hey, watch this," type of thing, because it's going to connect with a different group of people that are standing around watching people inside the dome or traveling in cars or flying all over the world. Like both of you are able to connect with those individuals. Um, but we just finished the holiday season. There's also birthdays, anniversaries, other potentially significant gift giving days throughout the year. How much does puzzling influence your gift giving decisions?
It
Ooh, good one. Oh, go ahead, Doug, if you had something lined up.
In the beginning, it was easy because we didn't have that many puzzles. So like building the collection, gift giving from my parents or whatever, it was always like, here's the list of Ravensburger puzzles, get these. And then as the years went on, it was a more limited list, is that here's the specific ones that I need because I have all of these. And then there was a point where I have all of the ones that I think I need for now. So her parents and mine started going into larger format puzzles. So now we have a bunch of 5,000, 7,000, 42,000 piece puzzles that never get done because we're so hyper focused on 500s and thousands. So now we're at a point, Adam, that puzzling doesn't come into to gift giving anymore for me. Uh, she has all the ones that she wanted, and as new ones come out and are needed. Oh, although, yes, there is one over Christmas, the limited edition Taylor Swift orange puzzle that she didn't get chosen to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought that as a gift, but that's the
Nice.
first puzzle in years that I've actually had to get. It's too difficult. It's like her buying me car parts for a Christmas gift. It's so difficult, and it's such a specific thing that you might need.
Yeah.
Gift giving is now avoidance of puzzles, even gift certificates of it, because I'm not even sure. We go to puzzle stores and she have it, have it, have it, have it, have it, have it. Okay.
Yeah. It's
How quickly did she do the Taylor Swift puzzle?
Doesn't have
or
it.
like,
Doesn't have it. So I got it. I got it shipped to Toronto, and so
oh,
this is the countdown. Every couple of days now we've been here. It's I can't wait to just rip open and get into that puzzle. And so it was a good gift because she's looking forward to it. But I'll let you know, or she'll
Right
let you know.
on.
Sure.
Not in terms of speed, how fast is she? I meant literally, like, how quickly does she just want to do the puzzle? It must be, knowing how big of a Taylor Swift fan she is. This this is a long wait to get to that. So
So
We're gonna
that's
get in the door, Adam, and the suitcase is gonna go down. She's gonna have her coat on still and
I
go
was
and
gonna say,
that's exactly what's gonna happen. And I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you because that will happen.
yeah,
you
shoes
missed
and
one
coat still
step.
on.
one step, and before she starts it, there will be a Taylor Swift album playing because
There has to be.
Oh, but you don't have to start that, Adam. That just is
Oh, it's
going
just already
on
going.
all the time, everywhere. Yeah, no problem. I know more Taylor Swift songs than I ever cared to know at this point. So find myself humming it out in the garage, and I'm like, oh boy, what has happened to my life?
And what about you, Mark, when it comes to the gift giving aspect?
Doug probably couldn't say it any better than that. Like that was it. It starts off with, "Hey, I need this one to finish off my collection," or I'm starting to collect these ones, and the colored gradients. You're like, okay, well, I'll tell mom and dad to get these ones for her for Christmas. I'll see what her parents are gonna get for her, and then I'll get this one, and then it's fast forwarded to, don't get me any puzzles. Don't even try and shock me with an all white puzzle, and you're trying to trip me up with the most impossible puzzle in the world. That's not Christmas to her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So my dad doesn't take no for an answer. He'll try and come up with something, some puzzle related gift still just to give Danielle, like, oh, this one got the best reviews on Amazon. It's the hardest puzzle in the world. And thanks. I can't wait
The,
to
the
can't
amount
wait
of
to hand
people
this one
that
to somebody
the
else.
amount of people that have tried to give that impossible clear puzzle as a gift, or
Exactly.
it's interesting. But Adam, what about you? Like, as gifts, do you like getting puzzles? How does gift giving and puzzles work for you?
Uh, like, yeah, they'll go through. I'll go through phases where people will get me gifts where it's like super challenging puzzles, and which are okay at some points of the year. But like I had one that I finished a month or so ago that was like almost 15 hours to for the 1,000 piece yellow rubber duck
That
thing.
the duck puzzle? Was it ducks?
Yeah, the ducks.
Yeah.
Um, and but because I'm so focused on like the speed puzzle aspect, I can't turn that off anymore. So I'm just watching the time beside me go up hour after hour after hour as it, which is demoralizing. But it feels good when you finish it. But yeah, it's tough with the puzzles. I do have like an Amazon wish list, which I do send to people going, if it's on the list, I don't have it yet. And I know some people are hesitant to make purchases off Amazon lists, like it's cheating. No, this is what I want because I'm an adult. If I want to buy something, I'll go and buy something. Like it's I'm not gonna wait around for it. But no, it's tough. I think to get gifts for giving. It's really tough as well. Like I'll give advice maybe on if I see someone with like a bad puzzle timer, I'd be like, this is one you should probably think of getting instead or whatever. But
Yeah,
like
that's a good idea.
when it comes to like with Mark, I know I can always tell when someone knows who Mark is or Danielle is because when I see their box top holder go on top of the table, I'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark made that. That's a Mark product. That's around because there's a handful of Canadian speed puzzlers that have a box top holder from you, which I think that's a great gift to give people because that's unique. You're not going to get that somewhere else. But yeah, I can see how it'd be tough the longer it goes.
Yeah, really, you just think like, what size of shelf do you want? Let's just get you a shelf for Christmas, instead of buying puzzles or puzzle earrings or stickers or swag. It's like, let's size up another shelf here. I think
Yeah.
that's what you need for Christmas.
Did you see Mark laugh at me when I knew that it was the duck puzzle that stumped you? He had a good laugh at that because this is what our lives have become, Adam. We understand. Oh, was it that duck puzzle? Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. It's like I follow a lot of you people now on Instagram and
Yeah.
everyone shares. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Everyone
Absolutely.
shares their anger.
Yeah, sorry to bring that
Posts
up.
their
That's
time.
probably making you angry just thinking about it.
that stays on the top shelf, not to be opened again.
Yep.
Um,
It's for looks, eh?
Yeah, and it's not as I can't even really give it to anybody because
no one wants it.
Yeah, but it
Oh,
made it
you'd be
look
mean
so
if you gave that to
bad.
somebody.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I have a few others that are super challenging as well, but it's now that we've switched into January, it's all right. Well, I have 4 months until nationals. Am I going to waste 3 days on ducks, or will I be able to finish 30 other 500-piece puzzles? Well, I'm going to
mm,
practice for nationals. And yeah, the mindset changes as the new year changes. Um, just have a couple of things to wrap up here on it. It's been great speaking with both of you. Unless you have a really good story I haven't been able to get to, but part of part of this channel, I usually ask people, the puzzlers that are on here, to like talk about goal settings and stuff like that. But it doesn't really apply here. But do you have advice? Because you've been to competitions. Do you have advice for other significant others from your travels, the wisdom you've built over these last few years of speed puzzling chaos? Anything that comes to your mind of, you know what, you should remember this.
There's there's a couple of things here probably. If you don't mind, I'll start, Mark.
perfect.
We covered a good bunch of it, that you're a coach, a partner, a nutritionist, a hydrationist, like all of those things are part of the job, and your back is going to hurt. Bring a backpack because your back is going to hurt from all the stuff that you're carrying. That's just part of the greatness of it. But there's all sorts of good things around the puzzling as well. So, that Mark, you hit some great coffee shops in Vitalid, and I've met some people, that are into cars, and there's automotive museums around. So there's always something around the puzzling, and just enjoy every second of it, because I've never seen a community of people that just are so genuinely happy to be around each other. And there's like, it's a competition, but it's not a cutthroat competition. Everybody's rooting for each other. I've never ever seen this before, and it's just a pure blast of positivity that I enjoy just being around. So just enjoy all of that stuff as a significant other. And boy, you can meet some super interesting people. And some of my friends now are through the community, and we're none of us are puzzlers. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Great,
very
great. I
true.
love
Like
that.
you're totally right about there's no enemies. Everyone is in it together. There's not like you don't feel a sense of like a rivalry, or we don't like that team, or oh, that team's here from that country and we don't like those people. It just everybody just seemed to get along, and everyone was in good spirits. And even just talking to other significant others, like ask them how long it took them to travel there. You start making small talk. Next thing you know, you got a restaurant suggestion, or check this place out for breakfast. And you end up learning more about the local town just by getting and talking to other people that are there. It's just everyone's got little tips and tricks or what works for them, and you just start borrowing from the, oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna bring a backpack next year. Or, oh, I'm gonna get to that tree that's got shade before they do and start laying down everyone's bags there and take more real estate. Just
That
I like that. Like the we've said before, like the Australian team and the American team just seem to have a huge contingent of people. And you start seeing people compete. You see people on the sidelines. It's like, are you competing today? No, you're not. You're just here to hang out. All right, well, let's shoot the breeze for a little bit.
I
We're
I love that our contingency, the Canadian contingency, is large. There was
yeah,
100 plus people at Worlds, right? It's not small anymore, and I love that. So when we say, "Hey, it was the Americans that have this, and the Australians have it," the Canadians have it now too, which is super
true.
great. And my one liner, now that I can think about it, Adam, is that enjoy every minute of it as much of a way as your jignificant other that's the puzzler will allow you to be in it. You know, like be the coach. If they are asking for advice, give it, make them comfortable, but enjoy every second of it because it's way more enjoyable than I ever thought it was going to be. I enjoy being a husband. I'll never be a competitive puzzler. God, I wish I could be, but I love it. I love it. We've
Yeah,
seen
same.
so
I
many
love the community.
things.
Just
Yeah,
great
we've seen so
people.
many things and met so many people that I just can't ever imagine unmeeting, you know. Sarah from the US, just an incredible, nice person that when we went down to St. Paul and competed at the Winter Nationals or Winter Licious or whatever it was called, I can't remember.
The
Just
Winter Carnival, yeah.
like it's so many super nice people. I can't believe it. I've never in music or cars or anybody, everything is cutthroat. This is unique.
Yeah, very true.
So will we see either of you or both of you at the Canadian Nationals this year?
Yes. As long as
Unlikely for me.
as long as I'm alive and breathing and work doesn't get in the way. So those three things have to be true, but yeah, I'll be there if I can absolutely be there.
And what about Worlds this year? Will there be a repeat appearance from both of you?
Yes. Same answer for me. Us husbands, we have to stick together. We now have a support system for each other. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got unfinished business in Spain.
The yeah, it's most likely going to be in the same spot again this year. It's only 5 days of puzzling this year, though. So instead of 7, it's only 5.
So
Oh, they've taken. Oh, okay. They
it
removed the
went.
Guinness aspect of it,
We don't
or
know. We don't know
just
the schedule.
condensed it.
We just know the dates. So
Oh, okay.
we'll find out. We don't even know if it's actually in Spain, but we assume it is.
What are the odds of a husband or a significant other team at Worlds this year?
we joked about it when we were at Worlds last year. Uh, Here's the thing. It's fun to talk about. I would enjoy doing it. For me personally, there's a couple of things. We're not competitive, so we would do it to absolutely have fun. And if the available spots at a competition are limited, I wouldn't want to take a spot from someone that would actually want to compete. So if it is still open and anybody can do it, and there's room, there's a
Yeah.
possibility, I guess, for us to get together and have fun and we'll make some shirts or we'll use one of the 500 t-shirts that were made for teams over the last couple of years. I have drawers and drawers full of t-shirts, by the way. But yeah, I think we'd do it, but it would be for fun, and I'd want to be in a position that we could finish it. Like it's not just fun. We put them all out on the table and get 10 pieces together. That just doesn't seem appropriate for an actual competition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
then
ready to get embarrassed. But yeah, Doug did mention it last year. Like, I think Danielle kind of, I don't want to say forewarned me about it, but it was more or less like, now don't be surprised if they're going to ask you to join their team and you guys are inadvertently thrown into a four-person team. It's like, oh, okay, I'll prepare myself accordingly. And
That
I
that's
think it
part of the
was,
That's part of the contagiousness of a competition in the worlds, though. Like you see all of you, Adam, go in there and come out and have the best time, and it's contagious. We're like, well, I want to be part of that. I don't want to be just standing outside waiting for it to end. I kind of want to be part of it. But then
yeah,
yeah,
we're not competitive either. So it's a maybe. That's a very long-winded way
yeah.
to say it's a maybe.
Yeah, it was a big maybe. And you know what I think just kind of zipped it last year was the heat. I think that's all it was. Walk into the dome. It's like, I want nothing to do with this. I'm out of
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I think that's all it was. It was like, no, you got to stay here for 3 hours and compete and sweat with everybody else. Like, oh my God. All right,
Gifts
if I
now,
have to.
if we go back to the gift conversation, maybe it's finding a personal air conditioner or something just to be on the safe side, just to be
Yeah,
ready.
have a little. Yeah, just we'll prep something. Yeah.
And then there's a new competition, world international event that's been announced recently. I don't know if Devin or Danielle have mentioned it, but it's a World Series competition, 2 days in Munich in the start of May. Do you know if you're going to be attending that, or has that been mentioned at all, or is that a surprise?
Read our
Right.
faces, Adam. This looks like surprise.
Yeah, I haven't budgeted for that trip, so it's a surprise to me.
So
Uh,
at the time we're recording this on January 2nd, the tickets will go on sale soon with it. And by the time this is released, I wonder if you'll know by then if you've by the
this
way, we're
may
going to
just be
Germany.
a not ask permission, ask for forgiveness type of thing. But it's listen, if she wants to go, I don't know anything about it. If she wants to go and signs up, and we'll go for sure. Yeah.
Is Devin going to France this year for the 24-hour one?
Yes, I
Or
think so.
is that's in France, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because Danielle signed up for that one, so I'm just going to assume that she won't be attending the Munich one, but perhaps in 2027? I don't know, or however things go, who knows?
So I'll make a little note for myself to just put a second mortgage on the house here.
Oh, okay. So I also end each of these with a quick fire questions about different puzzles, or different puzzle questions. It doesn't seem as relevant to ask those questions to either of you because it's very speed puzzle specific. So I've altered it. There's 11 questions in total, and since Devin and Danielle have both appeared on this, they have answered these questions. So I'm essentially going to do a puzzle newlywed game situation here, and I'm going to ask the same 11 questions, but you have to give me what you think their answers were.
To those
Ooh.
questions.
Whoa.
Oh boy. Ooh.
I'll alternate going
Wow.
back and some are
Next
easy,
next
some
time
are
we
easy,
appear
some are tough.
on your podcast, we may be just single husbands. Or
Yeah.
maybe single puzzlers, bachelors or something. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I think we should be all right.
I'm going to go back and forth. I'll start with Doug, if you answer the first question first, and I'll just keep going back and forth between them. So the question is for the first one, what is your Jignificant Other's favorite brand of puzzle? I'll start with Doug.
Uh, Ravensburger.
Okay, Mark,
I think I agree. Ravensburger.
that is 1 point to each of you. That's correct. Ravensburger for each.
Good
So much
start, buddy.
pressure.
Good start.
So much pressure.
All right, Mark answering this one first. What is Danielle's favorite piece count?
Less than 500s. I know she does the 500s more often, but I don't know if they're the 250 and the 300 puzzles. I'd say like the 250 piece puzzles she likes doing better. Is that an actual size or are they 300?
There's both. They both
There's
exist.
both. So 300s and smaller. That's what I'm
Okay.
going with.
And Doug,
I bet Devin had a more complicated answer that she loves 500s, but for leisure would do thousands or something like that. 500, if I need to pick one, 500.
It was 500 for Devin. 1,000 for Danielle was her.
was her
Totally on the
favorite
other
piece
side
count.
there. Thousands.
Tricky one
Okay.
here.
Favorite cut style. And I'll give you an option. Favorite cut style, ribbon or random?
Ribbon.
Yep, same.
1 point to each of you. Good.
Weirdly, I could
Favorite
have answered that without even being prompted.
uh favorite speed puzzle event. So individual, pairs, or teams. I'll start with Mark.
I th- Teams she has the most fun in. I think she wants to do better in pairs, but I think she's more successful in four-person team events.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah, I am overthinking it. Oh,
Go with your gut.
pairs.
Okay.
Pairs.
Teams.
It is for Danielle. She likes pairs and teams equally. So I'll give you a point for that. But for Devin, it was pairs.
Pairs is her favorite.
Okay.
Favorite puzzler. Who is their favorite puzzler? I'll start with Doug.
This one will be a complicated answer for me, I think.
If you say it at any point in your explanation, I'll give you the point.
Okay, so very quickly, it was a while ago she was on your podcast. So I think now one of her favorite puzzlers is Danielle. Not because we're all on a podcast together, but I think back then she probably would have said Sarah Schuler.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
That's funny how Doug worded that answer because I was going to say, you know what? I think Danielle's favorite puzzler was Devin. Like before she met Devin, like she was kind of like following her on Instagram and what she was doing and saw that she won the nationals and I think she ran up to her and introduced herself one day and says, "You don't know me, but I'm Danielle and I'm one of your followers on Instagram, yada yada yada." I mean, Danielle does watch a lot of people on YouTube.
What's
I
your gut?
just, yeah, Devin.
Devin is the correct answer for Danielle. Alejandro and Kristen also mentioned, but for Devin, it was
Alejandro.
it's her grandfather for Devin.
Oh boy, she really gut punched me on that one. Wow.
Again, really quick through these ones. Favorite puzzle that they've ever done.
Probably a Disney puzzle, a wintertime Disney puzzle. I can't picture the exact name of it, but I'm picturing them on ice. No.
To me, it would be a circle of colors puzzle. It would be a round puzzle.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. It's Circle of Colors Donuts is Devin's. I'll give you that one. For Danielle, it was Kawaii Chaos. The one from Worlds this year, the semifinal one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Good.
Tied at 4. Good. Describe the hardest puzzle they've ever done. Because this one's tough. This one's the toughest question. Have they ever mentioned the hardest puzzle that they've ever done?
By name, I can't think of it. There was a large 3,000 piece puzzle that she was putting together just recently, like over the Christmas holidays. The sky had a lot of false fits, and she was getting frustrated, and she was shape sorting and doing the best she could to kind of whittle away at this puzzle, and she packed it up. She packed it up and put it away. And so I'm not finishing this. This is too hard. I can't even tell you what it was. All I know is
That
3,000
might
pieces.
be.
That might be the answer now, but because she appeared on here in October, obviously the answer will be a little bit different, but it's a tough one. Any guesses for you, Doug?
I want to say something with pink flowers. There's been a couple of tough ones, but that's the one that sticks to my mind. That I wouldn't know.
Oh, the
Yeah,
lightning puzzle from the pairs rounds at Worlds in
That's a tough one.
2024.
When
There
you
was
say it,
lightning
Adam,
across the sky,
yeah, when
and
you
I
say it, I'll be able to picture it, I'm sure.
Yeah, for Danielle, it was a Cobble Hill owl-based puzzle, random cut thing that she didn't like. For Devin, she gave 2 answers. Puzzle Passion, the team's final from last year, and her qualifier at Worlds, the Sunset in Copenhagen puzzle with the brown.
Got it.
Was
Just a couple more here. Least favorite design to see on a puzzle. So like fur,
Sky.
flowers, that type of thing.
sky, clouds, meadows with grass. Yeah, I'd say
You-
sky and clouds.
I'll give that to you. She said landscape, so I'll give that to you.
Okay.
At the time, Devin must have said fur.
No, really busy puzzles is what she doesn't like, and painted like muddy type of colors.
Okay.
Favorite puzzle moment. I'll start with you, Doug, on this one.
I guess it would be winning the nationals.
It was the pairs qualifying round with you in 2023, but it was actually there's a little girl beside
This is so hard for you to
Oh,
get.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
the little girl that finished.
beside you, and that's what Devin said stood out.
Before us, by the way, and so
Yeah.
that was really great. Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you, Mark?
Hmm. I'd say this year or this past season in Spain, it was individuals semifinals. I think she just missed the cut to get into the finals by just a little bit. And
Yeah.
so I was prepared for her to kind of be down a little bit or kind of disappointed, but he came out of the dome just totally like enthusiastic and happy that she set her own personal best time and has never done the puzzle before, her beat her previous what she thought she would do. And so that's really what stands out in my mind as Danielle's puzzle highlight or her favorite time. Could be totally wrong, but
I
I think that's a close second. Number one was the 30th overall finish in pairs at Worlds.
with
oh, okay, with
with
Allison.
Allison.
Yeah,
Close.
okay.
We're doing
Final two.
terrible here. Wow.
Yeah.
Final two questions. Here we go.
Starting with Mark, where does Danielle like to get new puzzles from? Not Puzzles Canada, but where would she get puzzles from?
Yeah. When I have to go to Toronto to get my espresso machine service, there's a puzzle store that she looks forward to going to. Don't ask me what the name of it is. It's just off Bloor Street. There's there. There's the. Did we get anything in Fergus this year? I don't think she did.
You're overthinking.
I don't know. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is right. This is speed questions. I'm taking forever. I don't know. I don't know. Her friends, trading with her friends.
Oh, you're almost got it right near the end. Facebook Marketplace.
And what about you, Doug?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
HomeSense for Devin.
Oh God, favorite place. Come on. Wow. Okay.
That's what he said.
And last question. Their dream puzzle that they've not done but want to. This one's tricky.
Probably
Oh,
Disney characters, Disney princesses, or some sort of gradient with Disney, um, main characters.
No, she messed you up with this one. No dream puzzles for Danielle. No dream puzzles.
No
so
such thing. There's no dream puzzles at all.
no, she said none for
Good.
hers.
No gifts. No gifts. That's it. More puzzles.
On the opposite end, though, we have we have she did name one, a specific one.
For
Who
Devin.
Devin did?
Hmm.
Oh, is it the 42,000 piece Educa world puzzle?
You know what? I'm gonna give it to you. It's not that specific one. It's the 64,000 Costco puzzle. Taylor Swift probably is up there right now, but she recorded this beforehand.
But
Oh, yeah.
you know what? Five.
High score of 5-5 at the end, which I think is a great way to end that on here.
That's good. That was
Way to
some
go,
tough
Doug. Way to go.
Well, hey, we did 50. That's good. Adam, thanks for having us. I know that you focus only on puzzlers, but it's great to talk to you more often than just at a competition once a year. And it's just great to talk about the other side of it because there's so many great things about puzzling in general and things that we probably see that while you're head down flipping and sorting and mashing those things together that we see and do that just are part of the experience as well. So just thanks for thinking of us and thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much to both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Doug, for taking the time. Mark as well. Huge thank you for this very unique episode, which I can't wait to post to post very soon, I hope.
Yeah,
Thanks,
fun.
man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this, Adam. When you first reached out, I thought this could get interesting. Who knows what rabbit hole we're gonna go down, or if we're even gonna talk about puzzles the whole time. But no, this has been good. So looking forward to what comes out of this. And I mean, I do inadvertently see every single episode of your show because as soon as it comes on, Danielle's got it on the TV. So recently Megan was on. She had all kinds of puzzle
Yeah.
decor, and it's like, well, there's some good gifts to get people. Look at her all decked out. But
Yeah.
no, this is awesome. It's good what you're doing for the community, and yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the responses are like from Devin and Danielle when they, especially Devin, because she has no idea. That'll be a funny thing to see your face pop up on on YouTube and Instagram at some point. That will be very funny. But
Yeah. Thank
Well,
you again.
if I don't ever see you again, and she leaves me, it's been really great knowing both of you. Yeah.
yeah, I'll switch the puzzle cast to one of those true crime podcasts, and it'll bookend the full story. So it'll be it'll be nice. Again, thank you both for being here. I'm sure I'll see you in the future at some point soon. But have a great 2026.
You as well.
Nice.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.